I'm going to show you how I came up with the semantic representation for Proverbs 11:21. I'll just be doing the phase 1 semantic representation, which is our pseudo-English version. So let's do one sentence at a time. So the first sentence in the NIV is, "Be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished." The New Century Version has, "Evil people will certainly be punished." And New American Standard has, "Be assured the evil person will not go unpunished." So there are several issues here. So the New Century Version decided to use "certainly" and get rid of this idea of "be sure of." I'd like to include that, but the way I'm going to do that is by saying "you should know." So I'm going to start out the sentence with "you should know that so-and-so." Now, one thing it says, "the wicked." So wicked is an adjective, and in English we can use an adjective referring to wicked people where people is understood. We can't do that in our semantic representation. So we'll have to do it like the NCV, evil people. The NIV and the NASB have "will not go unpunished." So this is a double negative. You see the "not" and "un." So we don't like to have those in our semantic representations. So we are going to express it more like NCV here, "certainly be punished." Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I came up with for that sentence. Okay, here we have, "You should know that evil people will certainly be punished by Yahweh." Now, Yahweh is implicit information, and one place where you can get a clue about implicit information is looking at the T4T. It says, "It is certain that Yahweh will punish evil people." Okay, so they provide implicit information. In this first sentence, I feel like I can know what to do based on the English translations. So I could read in detail the translation notes in the handbook. Here I feel pretty good with just going ahead with writing this sentence. So let's look at some particulars of how I write it for the phase 1. I can't just say "you" for our program. I have to tell who the "you" is. So here I said "you," and in parentheses I put "people." Should know, and then I put this the argument of what we should know in brackets. So we put subordinate clauses in brackets. "You should know that evil people," and I don't have to write the complementizer "that." "You should know that evil people will certainly be punished by Yahweh." And then I have this special notation. It says implicit active agent. Now anything after an underscore is ignored by the computer when it tries to read this in to get the information into the computer. But this will be a notation for the person who's doing the analysis, that this is, we want this to be implicit information. Okay, then for the sake of the consultant, we write out what this sentence will look like in a more English-friendly manner. So we write it this way: "You should know that evil people will certainly be punished by Yahweh." And we put the "by Yahweh" in this notation with the less thans and the greater thans that indicates that it's implicit information. And also we put in the complementizer "that" here. Okay, so that explains how we write the phase 1 and the version for the consultant of the first sentence. Now let's go to the second sentence. "But those who are righteous will go free, but those who do right will be set free." but the descendants of the righteous will be rescued. So there are some differences here. First of all, notice that it has those who are righteous. So I would rewrite that as righteous people. And we can't use righteous. We're going to have to use good, and then we'll pair a complex word with that. I'll explain that in a few moments. So we'll go free. We'll be set free. So we'll be set free implies that someone is doing the freeing. Will be rescued implies that someone is doing the freeing. And I decided to express this using the word escape, which is one of the suggestions. Let's look at the translation notes for this one. Okay. So it says, will go free. It means that they will be delivered, but it's implied that they are going to escape from judgment or punishment. And they also suggest will escape or will come to no harm. We could also look at the handbook. It says they'll be delivered. Means to be set free or to escape. So I'm going to use this word escape, but I'm also going to add a clause so that they will not be punished, because the idea is that they're delivered from punishment. Here it suggests as a possibility, but these people will not receive this punishment. Okay, so I'll show you what I decided to do now. Okay, first of all, and let me go to one more thing here. There was a question about this descendants of the righteous. So notice in the NIV it just says the righteous, and basically the same thing in the NCV, but here it says descendants of the righteous. Now if you look in the Hebrew, I don't know Hebrew very well, but sometimes I look at it. It says the posterity. So there is a word in here. And then often I look at the Hebrew to see whether a noun is singular or plural. It's actually singular seed, but it means the descendants plural. So we're going to use plural. And it gives you an option. It says you can use the descendants of the righteous or seed, or it could be righteous people as a group of people. And it says you may follow either interpretation, and both are well supported. So since there is a literal word there for seed or descendants, I'm going to use that as a literal version, but I'm also going to give a dynamic version, which means the righteous. So this is the way I chose to write it. I used a literal sentence. I'm going to show you in the English first because it's a little bit easier to understand. So I wrote a literal version, but the descendants of righteous people. So notice I don't say the righteous, but I have to say righteous people. We don't allow headless nouns in TBTA. Will escape so that they will not be punished. And then I have this special marking is that by Yahweh is implicit information. So Yahweh is the one who'd be doing the punishing, or the Lord. So we mark that with this special notation that means it's implicit information. And then I'm going to include a dynamic alternate, but righteous people will escape so that they will not be punished by Yahweh. Now here's the way I write it for the phase one. Now the word descendant is a complex word, and you can see that if you go into the ontology. So I'm in objects here, So you get to this by clicking on ontology and lexicon in the upper left, ontology, and then nouns. Okay, and then this pull down, you can choose the letter D. So then I find down here descendant, and you see it's in magenta color next to that. That means it's a complex word. And if you hang the mouse over there, there's this pop-up box that says that it's complex. Okay, so a complex word has to be treated in a special way. The easiest way to express a complex word is to pair it with a simpler word. So I'm going to use children as the simple word that I'm going to pair to. And then this notation here, when you have the backslash, it's not automatically interpreted by the computer, but just like this, when you have something followed by following an underscore, it's a notation for the person who will be using this to get this into the computer. So this is showing that the complex word descendants will be paired with children. In the same way, righteous is a complex word. So I'm going to pair that with the word good. And then I have a notation for the person who's doing this that the sense of the word good is going to be the B sense, which is for morally good. We always pair righteous with morally good. We have two senses of the word good, just a generic good meaning a positive attribute, or morally good. So then I say will escape. Then I have a subordinate clause so that the children or descendants of righteous people will not be punished by Yahweh. I really should have put would. So I'll change that. We use would or could with so that. And I'll change that down here too. Okay, and then I have a dynamic sentence, but the good or righteous people will escape so that they would not be punished by Yahweh. Okay, so that is how I write that in the phase one, and then this is what, so let's just read it how it would be. You should know that evil people will certainly be punished by Yahweh if that's required for a passive. And a literal version, but the descendants of righteous people will escape so that they will not be punished by Yahweh. It's actually generated with would. Pretty much the same thing, but I'll put it that way. Doesn't matter that much. And then a dynamic version, but righteous people will escape so that they would not be punished by Yahweh. And then I indicate to the consultant that the word descendants is actually a complex word that's paired with children, and the word righteous is paired with the morally good sense of good. So that is how we come up with the phase one for this verse. And, you know, obviously there are some choices. It could have been done a little bit differently, but this is how I chose to do it.